What's going on, guys? I'm Justin Swanstrom. We're back with another video. As you can see right here behind me, that is the Liberty transmission out of prenup. We got the quick drive right there. We set the quick drive off to have it completely serviced through maintenance. I haven't had to go inside these units all year long. Everything on this car has been running flawlessly, from the motor to the Pro Chargers. We were having a couple issues in the beginning, but we think we've got that fixed. It's been running great. The quick drive, we have 100 runs on everything for the season. In 15 races, we put 100 runs on it. I think we're up to like 105 now. So we're freshening everything up, and we're getting ready for Orlando Speed World coming up this weekend. We will be in Orlando. We're going to be turning the boards on. That's right. You get to see what prenup's going to run. I'm going to be surprised just like y'all are going to be surprised. I haven't got a ticket on this car all year long. So I have a ballpark of what I think it's going to run, but I don't know unless I get a ticket. So today's video, we are going to be going through and checking the Liberty out. We have a leak on the front of it. Y'all seen that in the previous clip whenever we were pulling it out of the car. So we got to go through. Nicole at Liberty sent me all the parts that I'm going to need to be able to service this thing, and in case I have anything wrong on the inside, we'll be able to change that back out. They even sent me these badass stands right here that hold this thing up in air, because I thought I was gonna have to take everything off. I was trying to figure out what I was gonna do. I've never been inside a Liberty, so this is gonna be new for me, just like I hope it is new for y'all. So I don't know what's inside it. I don't know what to expect. We're going to dive in this thing together, and we're going to see what happens. But hopefully we can get it all put back together. I got Kyle and Brian coming over this afternoon so we can get this car put back together, get it loaded up in the rig, and then head on over to Orlando Speed World so we can try to run a good number, 2, crack some Pro Mod's ass, and 3, win a race. The last video from Bradenton, the finale, was a banger. I spent big money to have that video done. I wanted the last race and the last video, our last vlog, to be the biggest and best. So I was happy with the people that came out, shot it, edited it, got everything ready for me. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Y'all are killing it on the likes and the comments. Let's just keep on growing. Let's keep on getting bigger, and let's keep on getting better. So let's jump into today's vlog. So let's go ahead and jump into this thing. First off, I want to let you know that I am wearing a new headpiece. I'm hoping the footage is great. Basically, anything that I see, y'all see. We got the Liberty right here. I have never been inside this. I've already talked about it in the first part of the video, in the intro. So what we see inside here is going to be new for me. I do know by looking at photos, there's a bunch of gears and everything in there, but I do not know what's going to be beyond this case. So we do have a leak up front here. We do believe that the seals are ripped on this side. Whenever we broke the cross support that was put on the bottom of this Liberty transmission, the sliders that's in the car, when those broke, basically the only thing that was supporting this up was the 2 bolts right here and 2 bolts on the front side, and basically the drive shaft back here, and it was hanging about 4 inches off the bottom of the chassis. So there was really nothing supporting it, and I do believe that's what ripped the O-rings up front here. So I already got with Nicole at Liberty. She's been awesome. She has helped me along the whole way. She got me all the parts. We'll open those up in case we do need to change anything. She told me that we might possibly have to change the sliders in that out. I even asked her, I said, what is like a little small step that we can go through to do this thing? First, she said to go ahead and drain the oil. That was easy. And then she said you got to take the front cover off, and you're going to take the tail off. Once you take the tail off, we're going to go ahead and knock this off, and then we get to see all the internals. I got to take a photo, send it over to her. In case we need anything overnighted, I need to get them here so I can make sure I can make the race in Orlando this weekend. So let's go ahead and jump into it. We're going to go ahead and start taking stuff apart. Hopefully y'all have been enjoying the vlogs. Y'all seem to have liked that video. Damn, these things are loose. Ooh, holy crap. That's no good. I probably need to start checking this. Wow, those were just loose. Finger tight. And they're Loctited. We got to make sure we put Loctite back on that.
Looks like they run a blue Loctite. So this will probably make it a lot easier. I don't want to lose nothing, so we're going to be taking stuff apart. So, I mean, I have all the O-rings and everything in here. I'm going to send a bunch of photos to her just to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. Looks like they siliconed this piece on. Where we think the O-rings are broke, you can see them right here, is on these little 2 silver caps. And she told me that when we go to put this thing back together, that when we put it on there, we'll smack the caps in last. So we're going to get that off there. We're going to get the tail shaft off the rear, and then we're going to pull the case apart. But looking at this O-ring is good. There's no rips or nothing. They do have silicone, so I'll make sure we silicone that back on. One good thing I like about the stand is that I was able to keep all my air cylinders, everything on the underneath it, to be able to work on this deal. I'm not sure how I would have worked on this thing if I didn't have these 2 stands. So shout out to them. They were able to knock this out for me. Let's go ahead and knock out these bottom and top rear bolts. So gotta make sure you get that Allen in there. You don't strip it out. And I do apologize, this is gonna be a longer video because I'm gonna take y'all through the whole process. And I'm hoping the content comes out good, because I'm not sure how this camera is gonna do on top of my head, but basically it allows y'all to see everything that I see. I'm not sure we're gonna get any oil on, so I made sure I put that stuff on the ground. Oh, well, that just came off. Dad's been on my tail about keeping stuff clean, so I'm trying to keep everything as clean as possible. And everybody that's on my case about you don't work on your car and you don't do that, you see who's out there, right? Huh? Yeah. My guys are coming up here this afternoon, and no, I want to go ahead and answer the question. We do not have a professional team. People keep talking about how we have a professional team and that people get paid. Nobody on my crew gets paid. Can guarantee that. They're all volunteer. I do pay for the hotels. I pay for the airplane tickets and, you know, food, everything to be able to go to the events. I get them in all the events, but they do not get paid to work on the car. It's all volunteer. They've been with me from the beginning. So now that we cleared that up, but they all work day jobs. So they're working right now. This is what I do for a living. Hell yeah. All right, so looks pretty simple. Let's go ahead and pop the top case off. Those look like a 9/16. 9/16. What'd I tell you? I don't know if this gun's got enough ass. It may. The oil that is inside here, we run it from Liberty, and I'm gonna go ahead and let you know, it is probably the most nastiest oil I've ever dealt with. It's very black, like tar looking. If you get it on you, it stains. I haven't, this is just oil that's on the outside and all that, but when I open this up, hopefully it's still in there. I've already, you can see the bottom of the bucket and all that, and you can see it down inside there. It's like very, very dark, and it makes a mess. So I don't know how this works. See if do I just pop this off? Do I gotta hit these dowels out? Yeah, it looks like I do. I don't think I was supposed to knock it out. Keep that over here for later on. The only thing that we had to take off was the air lines underneath. I just want to make sure I didn't smash none of that, but hopefully this thing will just pick up off of there now. I'm not sure. Really should be using a rubber mallet hammer, but I don't feel like it. So let's look at. So let me get these bolts out real quick, and then I'll have to flip this thing around, and I'll show you just how nasty that oil is. And this is what it looks like right when it comes out of the jug. So it's not from like running or anything. I mean, it make it darker, but looks like they use a blue silicone, but you can see just how nasty this is. I'm gonna go ahead and drip it up for you. How thick it is. This whole entire transmission setup only takes 2 quarts. Looks like I got a little bit of material in there. So I'm gonna snap a photo real quick and send it over to her to let her look at it. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know what's good and what's not. I've never been inside one of these to see it. I know she sent me parts, but I'm gonna go ahead and send it over to her. We'll get it all cleaned up and send it to her just to make sure, and we'll go from there. But as of right now, it's coming apart pretty easily. We'll be able to work on this thing if we ever have to. I don't think we will. I mean, we've been 105 passes on it and ain't done nothing, but check that deal out.
Like I said, I would take one of these one at a time. Do this right
And
here.
just lay them down flat.
They're all gonna go back the same way.
And we know this is this side here is the back side of the case.
Okay. At least now you can do what you gotta do.
Those deals shouldn't come out.
Just leave them set there.
No, I'm saying they shouldn't come out.
Yeah, see
They're
all that
bolted in.
nasty ass shit down there?
What we do is now we just tip it over, and
Yeah, if I would stand it up on ends, what I would do now.
and then just
And let it hang off the table.
clean
a
off.
little bit.
We already got all Look at this deal. Imagine if you had to take all these off. When we get it all cleaned up, guys, we'll show y'all what they want us to look at for wear and tear.
You might have to take it all apart.
I had everything going smooth. Dad came out here and dropped the
No, I said you need to take
dropped the
apart.
gear out.
It's so fucking nasty, man.
So right there.
Just trying to keep everything.
I don't know if that stuff will slide off, will it? Or
What? No. And I'd hang that over the edge just a little bit.
it's hanging over the edge. All right. So much easier. We're getting somewhere, boys. So anyways, there's some stuff in here that we need to look for. You can see there's, I don't know if you really can see, but there's like some wear and tear, and this is basically whenever it just smacking the gears together. These things don't have no clutches or anything in them, like a Turbo 400, my dad was telling me. So when these things go into gear, they bang into gear. So like here's your first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. So we just look over everything, and I already got with Nicole, and she told me, I sent her photos, everything seems to be fine on all the gears, sliders, everything looks to be good. So what we're going to do is this is going to be very minute. I did find out, y'all seen it at the beginning of the video, is that the bolts on the front of the deal was loose. I think that's what was allowing all the oil to come out. So we're going to clean this up, we're going to get it all set in there. We do have to time everything back in. Once we time it all in, we'll get this thing put back together. Hopefully we can have this thing done before the guys get here. It is a mess, you can see. I mean, this oil is just disgusting, but we need to get it cleaned up, because I don't want to put fresh oil mixed in with this stuff that does have shavings. Now, I did send her a picture and asked her about the shavings, and she told me that minute shavings, that is normal. It's just wear and tear on the gears. So we're doing good. Everything seems to be good. We'll get this thing all sealed up, put back together here in a little bit. All right, guys, so that took me like an hour to clean. That stuff is so dirty. You can just see just how nasty it is. Got it all over the place. I'll have to clean up a mess. You can just see how black that oil is. There was oil inside there. It only takes 2 quarts in here, but we did have to take everything out, get everything cleaned up, because I didn't want to put it back together and put new oil with that stuff. So everything is completely clean and fresh. I'm gonna go ahead and get the case and the stand back over here. We're gonna go ahead and start setting everything back in. We do have to time everything in. So we will be going through, we're looking at, once we get done, we timed it in and get everything set back in, then I will go ahead and show y'all what we need to be looking for, wear and tear, what they showed me, and just talk a little bit about it, and then we'll be ending this video out when we get it back together. But it's coming apart nice and easy. Finally got everything all clean, so now hopefully it goes back together nice and easy. And I'm actually gonna have to call Nicole, and she already said she's gonna help me out getting stuff in. There's certain way sliders and all that work. They do go in, they're directional, so I need to call her and figure out which way those go in. But just wanted to give y'all a quick little update. We also got some fiberglass work going on right now. Michael's over here. We already did the doors on the car, so now he's working on the front end. He's gonna go ahead and pull it apart, figure out what all he's got to glass in, and then we'll get all the body work done, and then we're gonna get it primed up. So we'll show you all that in a little bit. I don't know if I showed y'all the car yet, but we did get the doors and all that fixed, so it is looking a lot better. Hopefully he can get the front end done and we can get everything one color. But let's go ahead and keep on moving on and get this deal back together so we can get it in the car tonight. All right, guys, so I was telling you wrong. Just got off the phone with Nicole. She explained everything to me. It's pretty self-explanatory now, but anyways, these are the forks. The sliders are inside. I had those backwards, but I want to go ahead and let you know that what we had to do to put it in. So we got all forks are in. Number 2 and number 5, she told me, are the same, so they can go in whatever the way they want. Number 3 and number 4 are directional. You have to put them in a certain way, and that's just for clearance purposes, and so is number one. Number one's directional too. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our deal. She told me to throw the center one in first. I may have to, because this is an air shift transmission, it's wanting to actually go back to its natural deal. So you can see actually I'm pushing this in and it's changing everything. So what we're gonna have to do is set it in there. I might have to pry some stuff to be able to get it set down, and then once we do that, then we will go ahead and put our two outsides on and get it timed in. Once it's timed in, we'll be able to continue to keep going, put silicone, and get the bottom piece on, and we will have this thing completed. So let's go ahead and let's get to it. Yeah. Okay. I see what she's saying now. So we're gonna have to pry a little bit. Let me see if I can get a screwdriver. Change the angle on y'all a little bit because I'm gonna have to sit down and do this. See if we can get this in. Deals around. Well, don't take it out.
You can see the back over here is where it needs to go. You need to move the one in the center back here.
Pick the rear up a little bit. Right, do what you're doing. Hold up, I gotta get this fourth one to go. Am I on it over here?
One of them.
What about the fifth one? This one back here?
No. It's
All right, so pick the, let it down. Okay, which one is it?
There, well, back here it's kind of off center. all the three of these are off center back here. Oh. There, right there.
Watch your hand. She told me it was going to be a little confusing. Oh, I gotta get it.
There you go.
Look at that.
Attaboy.
Look at that. It was a little confusing, but got it in there. So once we get those in there, we know those are good. Now we have to time the two outer pieces ones. Got these ones here. You got one that does go over to this side, and it'll have a RO on it. Reason being is because you got the reversed over on this side. So we gotta go ahead and get that one in real quick, and then move over, do that one, make sure everything's timed in, send her a snapshot to make sure we're doing everything right, and keep on moving forward. We got the center shaft in, and we got the reverse side shaft on. So basically what she told me is, you'll see right here, if I spin this around, see how there's a zero, I'm sorry, right there, a 0 and a 0 on this side. So there's gonna be 2 zeros here and 2 zeros here. She said all 4 of them have to line up to be able to make sure this thing is in time. So she said the easiest way to do this is to be able to get the reverse side shaft in, line the 2 zeros up. Once those are lined up, then let's go ahead and get the other shaft in and try to line the zeros up too. So we're gonna see if we can set this thing in there. So we already got it clean. There's a 0 and a 0. So let's see if we can get this bad boy to fall in. right, guys, it's pretty loud in here. He's out there doing work on the front end right now, so we got the compressor in there. It's gonna be awfully loud, but it did take me a little while. I got a little bit of the footage of trying to get it in there, but it was just maneuvering the gears back and forth to get all zeros to line up. You can't really see them, but there is a zero. It's like there's a zero right there. So it lines up right there, it lines up right there. That zero over there lines up, and so does that zero there. So all 4 zeros have to line up for this thing to be in time. And then you wanna make sure that the forks and everything are all in, everything is good. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna put a dab of silicone on each corner of the O-ring. Make sure we get silicone on these 2 pieces, these 2 pieces. We're gonna set our case on. Once we get the case on, we'll get that bolted down. We're gonna go ahead and clean up our front plate, get our front plate on, and then clean up our tail shaft and get our tail shaft on. Then this thing's all done, we'll flip it upside down, we'll clean all the outside, and then we're gonna go ahead and throw our air lines and everything back in. And by that time, I'm hoping the guys are here. We'll be able to start putting the quick drive, everything back on the Liberty, and get her thrown up inside the car. There's a lot of things we gotta do with the car. We gotta put the Liberty, the quick drive in. We gotta put the converter in. We gotta put the rear gear in. He's over there working on the front end. We gotta clean everything up. You can see everything's slapped full of dirty. Even though we bagged it, doing all the body work to the car, it still got dirty. So Big Daddy Brian's gonna have a lot to clean, but just bringing you along with the process. It's starting to come back together. Everything's going together nice and smoothly. I was able to get this in here. The gears, they all roll nice and easy. It does look intimidating. I'll be 100% honest with you. So I just wanted to go ahead and go through it myself and explain to y'all what I had to go through and show you. And now that I've gone through it, I know I can go ahead and go through this thing. I can change anything out that I need to. If I ever have an issue at the track, we'll be able to knock this thing apart. Other than cleaning it all up, the messy part is probably the worst deal of it. But other than that, we'll be all right. So let's go ahead and keep on moving along with it. We got our 4 corners silicone. We're gonna go ahead and throw a little bit inside here. Don't be kicking that off now. So she said just give it a little dab. Got to use this later on for the rear gear, so make sure we get that out of there. Put our cap back on. All right, we'll go ahead and set this thing on there. She's all nice and clean. Man, that thing sat on there perfectly. Like it was meant to be there. Ooh wee. Couple of these bolts in. And we got to torque those at 50. We'll torque those last. But let me go ahead and get a rag, clean up this extra silicone real quick. I don't really want that on there. We need to get our front piece all cleaned up. Once we get a front piece, we're going to throw that on there. We're going to put just a little dab silicone just so it's got a little something on it. And we're going to put that on, and then we're going to clean our tail shaft. We're going to throw our tail shaft on. And once we do that, actually before we do that, we need to put these caps on. We got to get these clean too. So we're going to clean this, and then we're going to smack these caps in, and they just hit them with a rubber mallet hammer to get them in there. So we're going to go ahead and clean those up. Then we're going to throw our front cover on, throw our tail shaft on, and then this thing will be complete. We are on the last piece of the puzzle. You can see we got the front cap on. That's silicone. We're going to go ahead and we're going to put just a light thing of silicone. I do know it is O-ring, but it had a little bit of silicone on it, so I'm gonna put some back on it. Take it off exactly how it came, or put it back on exactly how it came off. But this bad boy is almost done. So looks like it slides on just like that. Get it on the spline. Oop. Gotta get my bolts. Make sure the O-ring didn't get messed up. Nope. I hear somebody pulling up. It's probably Art. Art, is it you? Yeah. How'd I know? God, how'd I know? I'm so good, dude.
Yeah. You a fucking quick drive expert now? Or,
Blvd. Yeah, I am. We just went through, surfaced everything.
Oh, yeah. That baby blue primer is a good color for it.
That's gray, bro. What kind of?
That baby blue.
No, it's not. I don't. Now you're a whisperer and you can't see. We're gonna flip it back over. We'll put our reverse handle back on it, and then we'll make sure everything's good. Like my setup?
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
So they can see everything I see.
I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty dope. It's called VOV right there. That's how they make porn.
POV?
Can you imagine getting fucked with a GoPro on your head like that?
So,
Baby, does this turn you on?
Art would use some shit like this. Be looking down just like
I
that.
don't know how to use none of that shit. Art can have a big ass fucking lens on the front of his head.
So I'm gonna flip this thing over real quick, guys. We're gonna finish putting it all on, but we're about T-minus 10 minutes away from this thing being done. Dude, I've been on this thing since 1 o'clock. No, I'm just saying all the internals and everything. I mean, there's a lot to this. Got to clean it all up. I don't know exactly what happened there.
Looks like something.
Something rubbed up against it. So flap it.
Crazy that all
She's
that
done it over with.